Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we are really tearing apart the blueprints of high performance facility management.
Mhm.
We're not just looking at commercial cleaning, We are diving into the complex operations that keep these big multi-site facilities running optimally, efficiently, and, well, without things suddenly falling apart.
Exactly. And our source material today, this detailed service catalog from MK8X MetroClean, it's perfect for this.
Right. We're using their offerings almost like a case study, a detailed map, maybe.
Yeah, a map to decode what really defines best-in-class facility management, no matter who the actual provider is.
Okay.
And what's interesting, I think, is looking at them as a model for operational optimization. How do you manage to be this nationwide partner,
Right. That broad reach.
but at the same time deliver that really specialized, granular care that, individual sites absolutely need? It's a real balancing act. Consistency is everything.
Yeah, a logistical high wire act, as you say. And just before we get into the bigger strategy, let's just nail down the kind of rigor they're talking about. Okay.
Because that operational seriousness, it pops up in this one, kind of surprising detail. Their promise includes 204/7 availability for emergency response.
Which is critical, of course.
But they even cite a specific 8-digit ID number for emergency service access. ID 2000-141853.
Wow, that's specific.
Yeah, that level of dedicated infrastructure, giving out an actual operational code like that, it tells you these sources are grounded in, operational reality, not just vague marketing promises.
That's a good point. It signals the system is actually in place.
Okay, so let's unpack the strategic mandate first.
Right.
Their core objective, they say, is enhancing operations and optimizing facility performance. And they use this term bespoke maintenance solutions.
Right. Bespoke.
So this isn't just basic outsourcing, is it? It sounds more like making maintenance actually drive the business forward somehow.
Yeah, and if you connect that to the bigger picture, it signifies a really vital shift, I think. High-level facility management, it moves maintenance away from being just a reactive expense.
Pay when something breaks.
Yeah.
Exactly. It moves it towards proactive capital asset protection. The whole strategy seems geared towards reducing downtime. Every service, really, is designed to keep the parts of the facility that make money running smoothly, seamlessly, efficiently.
That really clarifies the investment angle. Okay, but here's the challenge I see. The source material promises this national reach, right? But it also clearly highlights a strong regional presence. They're based in the Boston, Massachusetts area, specific office in Linfield even.
Ah, okay. That strategic balance, that's actually key. That's what separates basic outsourcing from, a true partnership.
Oh, so?
Well, the insight here is probably how they achieve standardization despite that regional route. They likely leverage deep local expertise, understanding Boston's building codes, the weather challenges, compliance stuff.
Sure, Massachusetts has its own quirks.
Right. And then they try to scale that same standard of execution nationwide. It's about process, not just location.
But isn't that incredibly difficult to keep delivery consistent? I mean, if your Boston teams are experts on, say, specific state regulations or dealing with nor'easters,
Yeah.
how do you guarantee that same quality for a client facility, 2,000 miles away?
Yeah.
Doesn't that local expertise risk getting sort of watered down when you scale nationally?
That's a fair question.
Yeah.
It definitely points to resource management challenges.
Huh.
To make that work, they absolutely have to standardize their protocols, how they do things,
Okay.
while keeping the flexibility to customize what they do for each site. And that brings us right to their core offering, really. They can't just offer one single package.
No, it has to be adaptable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They have to deliver on what we can sort of synthesize into these 3 specialized pillars. Pillars that go way beyond just basic cleaning.
All right, let's break down that toolbox there. What are these 3 core pillars, these actions that deliver that kind of integrated performance?
Okay, so pillar 1 is customization and janitorial solutions.
Yeah.
Think of this as the logistical nerve center.
Right.
The source confirms they provide tailored service plans, and these are designed specifically to meet the unique needs and schedules of each client facility, not just a generic plan.
That idea of tailored service, that seems critical. It implies they're not just, sending a cleaning crew at 6 p.m. sharp. It means they're adapting the actual cleaning methods, the schedules, to fit a very specific environment, like a hospital wing versus a university lecture hall. They're totally different.
Totally different. It's about hyper-specific scheduling and protocol tailoring.
Okay.
And that adaptation of methods, that's what ensures efficiency on the ground. They're cleaning high-traffic retail floors versus, say, sensitive corporate server rooms.
Very different requirements.
Completely.
Huh.
The products, the equipment, even the sequence of tasks, it all has to change dramatically. That's where customization actually translates into operational efficiency.
Makes sense. What's pillar 2?
Pillar 2 focuses on appearance and longevity. This is where maintenance really crosses over into image management and, crucially, capital preservation.
Okay, so we're talking about more than just like mopping floors here.
Definitely. The source mentions expert floor care services, for instance.
Right.
That's specialized cleaning, polishing. It's designed not just to make things look good, but to enhance the longevity of the surfaces.
Ah, longevity. So it's about protecting the asset itself.
Precisely. When we talk about maintenance as image management, yeah, sure, it's about that first impression. The first 5 seconds a client or investor walks in.
That feeling of quality.
That immediate hit of quality and professionalism, exactly. But the longevity piece, that's the financial safeguard. Specialized care helps prevent replacing surfaces too early.
So you invest a bit more in expert care now.
And you delay a huge capital expense on, say, new flooring later on. It's smart money.
Okay. And pillar 3?
Pillar 3, eco-friendly programs, green cleaning. This isn't just, a nice-to-have marketing trend anymore.
No, it feels almost mandatory now, especially with employee health concerns and corporate sustainability goals.
Right. Their green cleaning programs emphasize eco-friendly services, green products, green methods. Now, the conversation here gets a bit complex because green products often do have a higher upfront cost.
Right. Yeah.
So is it purely about reducing environmental impact, or are we seeing like a shift driven by other pressures?
That's the real challenge, isn't it? The source highlights the benefit, a healthy environment for staff, for customers. Okay, great. But for a facility manager making budget decisions, the deep dive question is, does that investment in green products actually give a measurable return? Maybe through, I don't know, reduced sick days, or avoiding potential lawsuits related to indoor air quality from harsh chemicals.
It's a trade-off analysis.
Exactly,
Yeah.
a trade-off that savvy management has to weigh carefully.
And I think the answer is increasingly yes. High-quality green initiatives, they often reduce volatility, they reduce long-term risk, they basically mitigate headaches down the road.
Okay, that makes sense. Fewer headaches later.
So we've covered cleanliness and preservation. But now, moving past just keeping things pristine, true facility efficiency, it needs a comprehensive safety net.
Right.
One that focuses on the building's actual critical infrastructure. I mean, spotless building can still fail, right? Structurally, electrically, environmentally.
Sure. Looks great, but the AC is dead.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we need to look at the safety net they build around the actual infrastructure.
And this is where we see that shift into what they call comprehensive building maintenance. It's a pretty detailed list of specialized care they offer.
Yeah, things like routine upkeep and repairs. That's the baseline.
Okay.
But critically, they include systems that are huge drivers of efficiency and safety if you neglect them. They specifically call out HVAC maintenance.
Ah, HVAC. Yeah, that's huge.
And this is way more than just, swapping out a filter. Expert HVAC maintenance means checking coil cleanliness, making sure refrigerant levels are right, calibrating complex controls.
Technical stuff.
Very technical. And it directly impacts energy consumption. And energy is often the single biggest utility expense for a commercial building.
So expert HVAC maintenance isn't just about comfort. It's basically a direct investment in lowering the electricity bill.
Absolutely. While also meeting those crucial indoor air quality standards. It's a deep technical layer, like you said, that most people probably overlook when they just hear the word maintenance.
Yeah, you don't usually connect cleanliness with HVAC calibration.
Right, and the list goes on. Essential logistical services, like efficient waste management service.
Which isn't just taking out the trash, I assume.
No, it's managing it effectively, complying with local recycling laws, avoiding fines, all with minimal hassle for the actual client. Plus, they specifically mention things like facility safety inspections, compliance again.
Okay, let's circle back to that urgent element, the 24/7 emergency response. We noted the ID number suggesting operational rigidity, but the source really emphasizes that their emergency repair services ensure a swift response to unexpected issues. Now, how does a national partner actually guarantee speed? What happens when a pipe bursts at 3 a.m. in a building far from their main office?
Well, the logistics must be immense. A swift response means you need decentralized teams that are already equipped with advanced tools.
Pre-positioned, almost.
Kind of.
Yeah.
And you need protocols in place that just bypass bureaucratic delays.
Right.
You can't have someone waiting for approval at 3 a.m. They're essentially selling peace of mind, right?
Yeah, business continuity.
Exactly. Business continuity. If the unexpected happens, the ability to restore safety and function quickly and effectively, that might be the single most valuable service they offer, especially when they mention accommodating flexible scheduling, emergency calls, after-hours work.
It's about being ready for anything, anytime.
Pretty much. And this robust, integrated offering, it's necessary because their client base is so varied.
Right. What kinds of industries are actually relying on this level of customized integrated care?
The source lists a pretty substantial range. It shows just how adaptable their protocols have to be. They handle everything from, corporate offices and retail spaces.
Which need that high visual standard.
Right, to really high compliance environments like healthcare facilities, hospitals, and educational institutions, too. Very different needs.
And it's interesting, the breadth across property types as well. They specifically mention they handle residential maintenance service.
Oh, interesting. So not just commercial.
Yeah, which suggests that the underlying principles of care, whether it's that HVAC calibration we talked about or emergency repairs, they apply across different kinds of property assets, from a, multi-tenant apartment building right up to a massive corporate campus.
The fundamentals are the same, just scaled differently, perhaps.
Seems like it. Okay, so here's where it gets really interesting for me. How does all this granular attention to detail, these pillars, this emergency response, how does it actually translate into tangible real-world results?
We need to look at the customer feedback, right? The proof points. Exactly. And when you analyze the common themes running through the testimonials they provide, you see pretty consistent evidence that this integrated model actually works. It serves as the proof point for their whole methodology.
Okay.
And the results seem to boil down to maybe 4 key business principles that clients are experiencing.
All right, let's analyze those principles. What's the first one?
First is what I'd call operational friction removal. Clients stress that the service ensures seamless operations.
Seamless operations, meaning?
Meaning the facility manager or maybe the business owner, they just stop worrying about maintenance altogether. It fades into the background because it's handled. Think of it like swapping out a clunky old software system for a smooth cloud-based one. It just works. You stop thinking about it.
Okay. Less hassle, less friction. Makes sense. Second principle.
Second is the perception of professionalism and reliability. Testimonials repeatedly mention an unmatched level of professionalism.
So consistency. Doing what they say they'll do reliably.
Yes. That consistency and execution, that builds huge client trust over time.
Okay.
Third is tangible transformation. Clients actually notice the attention to detail. One quote says, the services transform their facility into a pristine, efficient environment.
So that connects directly back to that pillar 2 we discussed, appearance and longevity.
Yeah.
They see the difference.
They see it and they feel it. It confirms that part of the strategy works.
And the final one sounds like the overall strategic impact.
Exactly. Exceeded expectations. Multiple clients highlight the personalized approach, the commitment to excellence. So the key takeaway from all these testimonials, if you distill it right down, is that this kind of integrated facility management acts as a game changer. That's the word used, a game changer, because it keeps facilities running so efficiently, looking so pristine, that the clients can just focus entirely on their core business.
They're freed up to do what they actually do.
Precisely.
So, wrapping this up, what does this deep dive really mean for you, the listener? What we're seeing is that optimal facility management seems to rely on 3 kind of inseparable factors. First, those highly tailored solutions that meet very specific, sometimes hyper-specific infrastructure needs. No cookie-cutter approaches.
Right.
Second, a really comprehensive maintenance scope. It covers everything from, eco-friendly janitorial work right up to complex system maintenance like HVAC.
The whole spectrum.
The whole spectrum. And third, that robust protocol-driven emergency response capability available 24/7. It's really about achieving a proactive partnership, not just a service contract.
Yeah, and just to reiterate the long-term sort of high-level benefit here.
Yeah.
Regular property maintenance, as the source implies, is absolutely crucial. Why? Because it ensures the facility's longevity. It prevents those catastrophic, super costly repairs that inevitably happen when systems fail unexpectedly.
It's the definition of preventative investment.
Exactly. It's preventive knowledge protecting your most valuable physical assets. Simple as that.
Okay, so building on that idea of prevention and something the source material specifically notes, regular property maintenance also improves energy efficiency.
Right. We touched on that with HVAC.
We did. So, for a facility manager or a business owner out there thinking about their long-term budget, their energy footprint, this raises, I think, a really important provocative thought for you to consider. What small routine maintenance tasks, the ones that often get overlooked, maybe sealing minor air leaks around windows or cleaning out HVAC drain pans regularly, which of those seemingly small tasks actually have the largest cumulative impact on a building's overall energy footprint over time? That's the kind of strategic cost-benefit thinking that really defines a truly efficient operation. Something to chew on.